be making Hayley's Easy Banana Bonanza bread. This is from my niece Hayley, who I had the pleasure of performing her wedding ceremony last October to Joe, and they're very happily living up in Maine. And she posted a picture of this banana bread the other day, and I had to get the recipe because it looked really good and it's really easy. And as you can see, I had very overripe bananas, which are perfect because they're nice and sweet and they're just short of being rotten. So these are perfect. Okay, so first, I have the oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I already greased my loaf pan. I used butter flavored cooking spray, but you can use butter or anything else. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is mix together these overripe tomatoes. Why I said tomatoes. These are definitely not tomatoes, and I do know the difference. Okay, overripe bananas. Now, I can tell you a funny story about using bananas in baking. One time, for Rosh Hashanah, I made a delicious plum torte. It was a recipe that the New York Times has famously printed many different years because it's just the type of dessert that's very good for Rosh Hashanah, but I've made it other times as well. But in any event, I decided I was going to try to make it a little bit healthier, so I substituted banana for, I think, half of the butter, which ordinarily is a pretty good substitution. But this particular time, oh, by the way, I'm mushing the bananas until they get nice and smooth. So this particular time when I was making I had made the torte this way. I had brought it to my mom's for Rosh Hashanah. The whole family was there. And after eating the torte, my sister said, "Ooh, my tongue and lips feel kind of itchy and swollen." At which point my cousin said, "Well, it's not like you ate bananas," knowing something that I had forgotten, which is that my sister is allergic to bananas. And when she said that, I went, "Oh my God, I forgot about the bananas." I mean, she took a Benadryl and she was fine, but you know, keep that in mind with food allergies.
Hayley.
What?
Hayley.
What about Hayley?
She's watching.
Oh, hi Hayley. Glad to see you. Thanks for watching, and thank you for this recipe. I'm excited. Let's see. Okay, so we mashed together the bananas. Now we're going to stir in half a cup of melted butter, which I just very easily melted in the microwave. Which, if you're going to melt it in the microwave, obviously keep an eye on it so that it doesn't, get too hot. You want it where there's maybe a few chunks of solid butter left in it so that when you take it out of the microwave, you can just stir it and that will melt the rest of it. Okay, so I'm stirring in the half a cup of butter. And now, actually I'm going to transfer this to a different bowl because this is my favorite mixing bowl because it's got a pour spout on it, but it's not good for mashing the bananas because the bottom is too shallow for the masher. Okay, so let me transfer that in. Okay, so that's just the butter and banana mixture. Now I am going to mix in, how much baking soda? A teaspoon of baking soda. And a pinch of salt, which I don't measure, just, you know.
Margot and Ian in the mix.
Hi Margot, hi Ian. Thanks for watching. Miss you guys. Hope everybody's staying nice and healthy. And for
Terry Lee.
Hi Terry Lee. Sorry about the peanut butter and jelly. I'll try to do that another time. And Angela, hi. Wow, there's a lot of people watching. My director here is filling me in on who's watching. Okay, now I am going to put in 3/4 of a cup of sugar, which I hope I have enough sugar and flour here. Yeah, I do. This is my half cup. easier to pour it. Okay, that's half a cup. And now we need another quarter cup. And by the way, for people watching, let's see if you can find the University at Albany clue that's in this shot. Maybe a little bit obscure, but I think some of you will get it. Okay, now I have to add a beaten egg, which I should have beaten ahead of time, but I didn't. You get to watch me beat an egg.
Remind people what they're watching.
What?
Remind people what they're watching.
Okay, and just for a reminder for people who tuned in later, I'm making Hayley's Easy Banana Bonanza bread. We like to come up with names for everything. It's just how we roll. Okay. Some people use an egg beater. I just prefer to do it with a fork. It's easier for me. Okay, so we added the sugar. Now we're adding 1 beaten egg and how much vanilla extract? A teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, pansies, the best there is. Unfortunately, we are starting to run a little bit low, and I don't know when they're going to be back in business, but I hope it's soon because we need to place an order. Okay, so let me mix that up. And next we're going to mix in 1.5 cups of flour. Less sugar. We already did that. Good thing I'm paying attention. I'm going to do this over the sink because this one's a little messy. Don't forget to look for that U Albany hint. Back in my day, it was called Sunia.
Becca Fletcher. Tracy Sunkus.
Hey Becca, hey Tracy. Thanks for joining us. Making banana bread. Okay, that's 1.5 cups of flour. And we're gonna mix this all up. I could probably do this in the KitchenAid mixer, but you know, this isn't really that thick of a batter, so it's easy to just do it by hand. So that's what I'm doing. You know, make sure you get in there and get that flour really mixed in. Now, you can also add other ingredients if you'd like. A lot of people put chocolate chips in, which if I had chocolate chips, I'd probably put that in, but I don't. But what I do have is walnuts, so I'm going to add some walnuts. Those are the walnuts. I chopped them before we broadcast. This is a little over a cup, probably about 1.5 cups. I'm going to stir some in and see how much that makes, how it looks before I decide whether to add more or not. Again, you know, make sure you're aware of what ingredients you're using in case you have people who have food allergies. This is made with regular flour, so it is not gluten-free, unfortunately, but at some point I'll try to figure out a substitute for that. Okay, so now got that all mixed in. I'm going to just pour it into the greased loaf pan. The recipe calls for a 4x8 pan. I think this might be slightly bigger than that, so I'm going to watch my cooking time because it may cook a little faster in a bigger pan because it's going to be spread out more, but I'm not sure, especially since I've never made this before. Okay, so that's it, and I'm going to pop it in the oven and I'll be back. It calls for baking for about 50 minutes to an hour at 350 degrees or until a fork or a cake tester comes out clean. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back in about an hour for the reveal. What are you pointing at?
You're going to let them hang on the clue?
Oh,
Or you can wait?
Yeah, and in an hour from now, I'll let you know what the UAlbany clue is. Oh, shoot. Are we still? I didn't know there was a cookie sheet in there. I don't know what that's from. Here's a little hint. Always check your oven before you turn it on. Okay, the banana bread cooked for about 45 minutes, which is slightly less than the stated time, but it definitely looked done enough, and I inserted a wooden toothpick and it came out clean. I think because it was in a slightly larger pan than was recommended. So now I let it cool for about 10 minutes, and now I am going to take it out of the loaf pan, and there it is. It's looking good. Let me get my knife. Oh, where's the knife that I want? I don't know where the bread knife is. Well, I'll just use another knife. Oh, the bread knife is here. Okay. Just wipe this off. If anybody knows where to get paper towels, let me know, because we're starting to run low. Okay, let me cut a little piece of this off. You know what? Let me put it on a cutting board. Okay. Probably should let it cool a little bit longer, but I'm impatient. I'm sure those of you who know me will be very shocked at that. Okay. Let me give a little taste to my cameraman. This is what it looks like, by the way. Oh, you got that? Okay.
That's good banana.
That is. That's good bath. Very tasty. A little warm. I'm definitely going to let it cool down some more. But you really get the banana flavor. It's very sweet, but not overly sweet. And the walnuts give it a nice balance and texture. I love a lot of texture in my food, and I like the crunchy nuts. No comment. Okay. Now, for those of you wondering what the University at Albany clue was this water bottle. It's Aquafina. Now, I realize it's spelled a little bit differently, but for those of you who are familiar with the comedian and Golden Globe winning actress Aquafina, she is a graduate of the University at Albany, where her name at the time was Nora Lum, and now she goes by Aquafina. So, just a little coincidence. Well, hope you all enjoyed my Facebook Live, and if there's anything in particular you'd like to see me make next time, put it in the comments, but don't count on it, because as I've said repeatedly, I'm really not that much of a cook. I just have fun doing this. See you later.
Cooking with Susie is a Brickyard Hill Studios presentation. This is your announcer, Chuck Cretin, speaking.